of individuals who found themselves in that murder case. And it's murderers, that's the headline. Justice at last. 8 years of grief, 8 years of unanswered questions. Yesterday, Sharon Otieno's family finally had the words they had waited for. Justice Cecilia Githuwa convicted former Migori Governor Okoth Obado, his aide Michael Oyamo, and former Migori County Clerk Caspar Obiero of murdering the 26-year-old Rongo University student and her unborn son. The court found Sharon's pregnancy spiked a calculated plot to silence her and protect political power. The verdict delivers long-awaited justice to a grieving family and sends hope in the fight against femicide. So, Sharon Otieno was a university student who was brutally murdered in September 2018. She had an affair with Governor Okoth Obado that led to her pregnancy.
It's sad, you know.
It's sad that a life had to be lost. Two lives had to be lost in the most gruesome manner.
Yeah, and for what?
Yeah.
You know, you sought this lady, you indulged.
Yep.
And then, you know, things changed or went south. If you chose not to continue with a relationship, find an amicable way of walking away peacefully.
Yeah.
Because now, Sharon and her unborn child are gone. Even if Obado and the company go to jail, Sharon, the baby, will never come back. Mama Sharon will never see her daughter again. And Obado, you've lost your freedom. Even you, your own family, will never get to experience you as the man of the family and the father. So some of these things, how I wish we can... And you see, the unfortunate bit is that there are three men here. I don't know if the court found three of them guilty. But there are three men. If they were all found guilty, it would mean three men accosted one woman.
Yeah.
Was there no one among them who just had a pause, a moment of sanity, and said, guys, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know, so I think also the company we keep is very, very important.
Another proverb.
Yeah.
Show me your friends.
Yeah. And I'll know what kind of a hyena you are.
Exactly.
So this is very sad, actually, because even when you say justice at last, lives are lost. They'll never come back.
True.
Even if these guys have life sentences, it doesn't change anything.
I mean, in a situation where you are in a relationship and things have gone south, the most reasonable thing to do is walk away.
It's okay, yes.
Walk away.
Yes.
There are also other instruments where if someone is then blackmailing you, you can go to the police and you can even get a restraining order.
Yes.
There are channels within the system itself that can protect you.
When you're alive.
When you're alive.
When you're both alive.
When you're both alive.
Yes.
But then again, let's just see the final orders of the court come December.
Right.
Now, page 2, Wetangula, Kingi get court relief over backing Ruto's re-election. Now, court dismisses Vocal Africa's case, saying the human rights group should have first taken the matter to EACC. The judge said the elephant in the room was the integrity and behavior of the two speakers. But even while that is the case, one would ask the question, was the law broken at the time?
Yes.
Right? And when the law is broken, there is fine going to EACC, but the courts as well are there to interpret this. But then again, the court spoke. Let's just see.
We wait and see.
Africa, then we'll do with the orders that they have been given. NYS is taking our jobs. Aviation workers protest now. A nationwide strike threatening to cripple Kenya's aviation sector remains on course unless employers address long-standing labor grievances with the threat to aviation workers, a job among key concerns. Now, lawyers boycott courts over judges' conduct row. Now, services at the Mombasa and Kuala Environment land courts were disrupted yesterday after lawyers boycotted proceedings in protest against judges who obtained orders stopping investigations into their conduct.
That's interesting. Lawyers and judges.
Yeah.
And you see that thing of NYS. Actually, I would want to know whether the NYS people are paid the full amount the other workers would be paid if they did the job.
Yeah, market rate.
Yes, or are they being exploited as cheap labor? Because you find the NYS officers all over. How I hate to imagine they're being exploited as cheap labor. So I think that's an interesting thing to see how it develops, because the aviation workers, they're not complaining in vain. They're complaining for a reason, you know, and the Civil Aviation Authority. Yes, and we see them all over. No problem, but if they're being paid, hey, they should get market rate.
Market rate, yes. True. Now, India donates medical supplies to keep Ebola at bay. So that is Health CS Eden Duale receiving medical supplies from India High Commissioner Daj Swaika as part of preparedness efforts to fight Ebola on Wednesday. The one thing that I wanted the Cabinet Secretary to tell us is the 7 individuals who are in Laikipia today, in is it a quarantine facility? Anyway, in that Ebola observation room, or is it building that is in Laikipia?
Yeah.
What's the progress? Why are they here? Because because if someone is being observed, we have hospitals which have been prepared by the government of Kenya. I think they talked about around 20-something facilities.
23, I think.
Why aren't these 7 individuals in these hospitals that have been prepared to observe Ebola in the country?
And where did they come from? Are they Kenyans?
DRC. They are Americans.
Why are we hosting?
Well, these are the questions.
Why are we hosting viral carriers? I mean,
could be. Because
you see, that's a matter of that's a matter for real. It's a matter of internal security and public health.
Concern,
yeah. Because if indeed those people are confirmed to be sick and there happens to be an outbreak in one or the other from them, they infect one another and they know how it spreads, how are we going to explain ourselves? And then here we are. You see, we admit people who are sick or suspected to be sick. Then we receive donations to keep Ebola at bay. Why not just keep the people at bay?
Yes, keep the people at bay. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's see how, because I know this is equally a matter, I think, that is in court. So let's see how that goes. Now, Britain cancels military training in Kenya over permit dispute.
Sovereignty galore. Yes.
So planned exercise was to take place in September and November in Laikipia. Nanyuki and neighboring towns rely on 10 billion shillings that British military inject. So the UK government has relocated a planned military training from Laikipia after Kenya failed to approve renewal of licenses for the British Army Training Unit. Batuk, through the Ministry of Defence, the UK announced the activity dubbed Exercise Haraka Storm, scheduled to run in Laikipia between September and November, will instead take place in an alternative location in neighboring Tanzania. It is with regret that the necessary licenses required to allow training to take place in Laikipia later this year have not been forthcoming. As a result, the planned training will now be conducted at an alternative location outside Kenya, said a United Kingdom Ministry of Defence spokesperson.
You know how these contracts are skewed? They reduce our country to a playground.
Yeah.
You cannot hold any of these soldiers.
Shoot, bam, bam,
yes.
Bam, bam.
And even they shoot other things where they leave offsprings behind.
Yeah.
You can't do anything about it. When a life is lost in their hands, you can't do anything about it. And did we just admit France?
Yeah, we did. We did as well. We did.
So you're doing an exchange program. Kick out Britain, admit France.
Admit French. Anyway, justice at last as Obado, 2 men found guilty of Sharon's murder. So in a painstaking judgment, Justice Cecilia Githua reconstructed the final weeks of Sharon's life. The judge exposed how a relationship with the governor descended into a murder plot meant to silence a woman carrying his unborn child. So the timeline here that we see is August 2018. Sharon discovers she is pregnant. Now September 3rd, 2018, Sharon disappears after leaving Gracia Hotel with a journalist. On September 4th, 2018, her body is found in a thicket near Owade, Homa Bay County. September 2018, Obado, Michael Oyamo and Caspar Lubiero are arrested and charged with the murder. 2019 to 2026, trial proceeds with 42 witnesses and 81 exhibits. And July 23rd, 2026, High Court convicts all 3 accused. And on August 18th, 2026, sentencing date is scheduled. Let's look at how that will go. Now, High Court nullifies Ruto's public debt audit task force. So, the court has declared unconstitutional President William Ruto's decision to establish a task force to conduct a forensic audit of Kenya's public debt, ruling that the team unlawfully duplicated the constitutional mandate of the Auditor General. Justice Lawrence Mugambe, in his judgment, said President Ruto has no power to create a body that has an overlapping role to that of an independent constitutional office.
Right.
I have a question. We have the Auditor General.
Yes.
He has been giving audit reports on where the situation is, especially when it comes to expenditure of public funds. And with the report she has been giving, it has not been good, Bwana. It has not been good. She has been saying it like it is. One also expects that she ought to audit all the expenditure when it comes to our debt, who we borrowed from, the contracts, how was it spent and all that. Why are we not seeing her office being allowed to do its job if at all the Constitution gives her that
power
and the power.
And the president, constitution